Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here, Friday the 28th of December. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. As always, and as I keep reminding you, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen. So when you come back and view the site and you tell your friends about the site and you use the adverts here at the site, that's what generates revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Big story in the news, of course, still is rainfall, and looks as if we are going to be getting some wet days to come over the next 2 or 3 days. But the good news is, and I'll give you more information on this in just a moment, it looks as if we are going to get some dry weather for the early part of the new year. First up though, just want to show you this picture. This was sent to me by Stephen Furner, who's the unit chief pilot at the Essex Civil Air Patrol, and this is a shot looking northeastwards along the River Wid from Ingerstone to Writtle and through the River Colne from the A12 to Halstead. This was on the 23rd of December, so this is looking across northeastern parts of Chelmsford, and you can see here the amount of water that's lying in the fields there and along roads as well. Now this is not one of the areas worst affected either, but you can just see from that picture how wet it is. So thanks Stephen for that, and of course you can always send your pictures to me if you just email them across to me, simon@weatherweb.net. then it'd be really good to see them when we can get them on the website and get them up on the videos too. So you can see how wet it is, but as I said, it looks as if we've got dry weather actually on its way. If we take a look at the rainfall in day chunks, you'll be able to see what I mean. This is the rainfall from now, so from today until from 6 AM today until 6 AM on the 2nd of January. So this is the 5-day period, and you see how still looking as if we're going to pick up a further look. 40 plus millimetres of rain, 50 millimetres over parts of Wales, 60 millimetres for parts of western Scotland. Less down these eastern coastal areas, but still an inch of rain even for southern parts of England. So wet weather still to come, but just watch the contrast here. Look at that. Really falling totals dramatically. Only a couple of millimetres across the south. Yes, still 20 millimetres for western Scotland. But look at this. We're into single figures just about everywhere. And then as we get into the third period, looking into the 12th of January, you can still see that rainfall figures remain into single figures for much of Wales and England. Still wet across western parts of Scotland, but this is going to bring some relief of the to the wetter areas of England and Wales. So there is some hope on the horizon of things starting to ease up. Now, the reason for that is that we've got high pressure that's going to be building in. Let me just take you through the next few days. First of all, this is the chart for today, and we've got a warm front that's across Scotland just at the moment. This is pumping warm air northeastwards. It's warm air laden with moisture as well, so bringing lots of cloud to the country, even where the rain fades away, but lots of drizzle around western and southern areas. Overnight tonight stays breezy, it stays mild too, and then what we tend to find towards the early hours is another area of rain coming in. This is the cold front that's going to be lying through here, associated with the area of low pressure you see here south of Iceland. Now watch what happens to this rain. Look, it becomes heavy as it moves northeastwards through southwest England and Wales through tomorrow morning. Excuse me. Then it moves into the Midlands during the morning into the early afternoon, and it slows right down. Eventually it will be clearing its way eastwards, but I do think it's going to be bringing a further heavy spell of rain to many central parts of the country. And if we just go through the sequence here of total rainfall, I'll show you what I mean. This is the rainfall ending at 7 AM tomorrow morning for the 6 hours up to 7 AM tomorrow morning. You can see here we're looking at 10 millimetres across much of the west of Wales, and then through the morning tomorrow, look at this, that's 50 millimetres of rain building up. Sorry, this is total rainfall, not 6 hourly rainfall. And you'll notice how that drags its way eastwards through the course of tomorrow, and eventually that rain clearing away from the east. But it's always these western areas that see most of that rainfall. Okay, so then we find, as I say, the front clears away from the east tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Then we go more into a westerly flow, which brings continued unsettled weather. But just look at this low across northern Scotland, 956, look, and look how close together the isobars are. These are severe gales affecting northern and western Scotland, northern parts of Ireland, into the early hours of Sunday morning. Plenty of drizzle around western and southern coasts, those gales transferring eastwards, and then we find a period of heavier rain coming east again into New Year's Day morning, so into Monday morning, the early hours. Most of that affecting southern Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England. Some snow over the southern highlands as well, and then that feature will be tracking its way eastwards during the course of New Year's Eve, bringing some heavy bursts of rain once again on New Year's Eve, and that reluctant to clear from the south even into New Year's Day morning. So I think we are going to be seeing some heavy periods of rain. I think it's this area here that needs to be on watch for flooding again during New Year's Eve and into New Year's Day morning. Now the other thing we need to watch for is that some models are actually making, you see this little dip that's here in the isobars, they're actually bringing an area of low pressure in. In fact, the Met Office does. It brings an area of low pressure across Scotland and it strengthens the wind to the south of that low, so we get an area of severe gales in there, and it's this area here particularly that sees severe gales, so we need to keep our eyes open for that as well, for the risk of some very, very strong winds on New Year's Eve. Then we find the rain clearing away, the winds coming into the northwest, and what that does on New Year's Day is it brings dry weather in from the northwest, slightly cooler weather as well. Then we find rain moving into northern and western parts of Scotland again on the 2nd, but you'll notice how this high here, look, this is high pressure, notice how that's building its way northwards. So these western coasts again seeing some outbreaks of rain and drizzle from time to time, but with that high building in to dominate things, dry weather is spreading in, so that by the 3rd, so this is taking us now up to Thursday the 3rd of January. Here's that high, look, building into the south, and notice how it builds its way northwards. Look, yes, bits and pieces of rain for western Scotland, but this is taking us now into the 4th of January with that high pressure in. Look, dry weather for many. Yes, western coasts seeing some outbreaks of drizzle at times, once again you can see here, and I think there could be some fog at times too, but many central and eastern parts of the country are going to be brighter, and for all areas it looks as if it should become drier. Now, I think we're getting some clues about how weather's going to develop into the early part of January. Remember, I've been telling you that I thought it would go cold. Well, these are the ECMWF charts going forward in 12-hour steps. So this is the 30th, this is Monday, New Year's Eve, and you'll notice here, look, they've got this little low scooting its way eastwards, look, during New Year's Eve. That's midnight, okay, and so they're going for some very windy conditions New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. Now it's this feature here, this ridge here that you can see in the 500 millibar heights. Watch that as it builds north and eastwards into the early part of January, becoming a dominating area of low pressure, of high pressure, sorry, by the 5th, bringing an increased risk of some fog, possibly even some frost, and then into the 6th and the 7th the high is with us. Now it's this shape that I'm interested in, this omega shape in the high, because what could happen here is this neck here could get choked off. So what happens is that we find a jet blowing through like so, another section of the jet going up towards the north and feeding into here, but then this high becoming a blocked out feature east of the country. Now what that could then do is bring in cooler easterly winds, and it would be around about the 9th of the month. And if you remember back, I was saying that I thought we'd need to be looking out for cool weather between the 9th and the 11th. The starters from cooler weather coming in again around that date, so we're getting some backup from the ECMWF on that today. But the main news I want you to take away today is that it looks like dry weather is going to be on the way. It looks as if it should be raining relatively mild as well, very little in the way of frost, but at least things are going to be drying out. So that's all for now. As I said, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen, by you using the adverts, coming back to the site, telling your friends about the site. That's what keeps us free of charge. So for now, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.